Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Jamal McCann from the 140 Plus Sports. You can follow me on Twitter at the 140 Plus, all spelled out, no numbers. We had another profitable day yesterday as we went 3-1. We had the Celtics at -2. They failed to cover. I'm not sure what's going on with the Celtics, but they might be a stay away team as favorites for the time being until they can get their rhythm together. I don't know what's going on, if it's the coaching or if it's just the players, the player personnel. Fournier had a little bit better of a game, but it just wasn't enough early on to keep up with this Mavs team, and they were fighting back the entire way. We had the Rockets plus 12 and a half, and they almost gave that game away, even with Harden sitting out the entire fourth quarter, and the Rockets entering into the fourth quarter with a lead. They somehow almost gave away that cover of 12 and a half, but luckily, last second three-pointer helped us get over the hump and cover that game. If you follow my Twitter, I put that Rockets play on there, and then also on the action account. With the Bulls play that we had, the +8, that covered, that was on the show. If you guys took that, and the Suns pretty much did what we expected them to do, and what I've been saying they have been doing, which is build comfortable third quarter leads and then giving them away in the fourth quarter. There were parts of the fourth quarter where Chicago was actually only down 3, even after being down about 15 in the third quarter. So they really did what I expected them to do, and I'm glad we came out with that. If you were follow my action app, I also gave out the Bucks -5 first half. That one didn't even come in until the final couple minutes of that quarter, of the second quarter. They were down for the most part for the entire first half. So we did get that one, but that was another sweat. Well, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we're about cashing tickets. We're about winning, and if it wins at the last minute, that's fine. I'll take the Rockets win, and I will take the Bucks win, and also the Bulls win. That kind of came in at the last minute too. So we got those ones. Today there's 6 games on the board. I have 2 plays, and I'll give you the links for the other 4. So the first one we got is the Cavs versus who are they playing? The Sixers. So in this game, the Sixers are coming in kind of cold. They've lost the last 2 and failed to cover the last 2. And normally when we see this happen, a cold team coming in against a lesser team, and they're getting points. So the team, Sixers are actually, I think, 10-point favorites, which is a massive line. They're not beating teams by 10 points a game on average, but they're throwing this 10 points out there, -10, against a team that's going to be scrappy and is going to play. The Cleveland Cavaliers have been performing pretty well against the spread as of late. So normally when I see this, I like the first quarter in these kinds of games. So I lean that way. It's not yet a play. If I do have any late calls, it's going to go, I'll either post it on Twitter or the Action app or both. Next, we have the Hornets. In terms of the line, it's a very short line for the Brooklyn Nets. However, it's only short because they're missing Harden, and he's pretty much the engine that makes them go. I don't trust Kyrie to do the exact same thing that Harden is doing, which makes that team very tough. So I'm not sure they can beat this Hornets team that I think has covered the last 6 games entering into this game. And if you're going to give me that team with points, I do lean that way. But -2 is a very short line. If I had gotten them at a -5, or I'm sorry, if I had gotten the Hornets at a +5, then that would be a much better play and more value. But of course, Harden isn't playing in this one, so you're really getting the Brooklyn Nets at a discount. But can they perform the same way without James Harden? I'm not sure. I would not lean that way. I would lean taking the points with the hotter team here, especially against the spread. Brooklyn Nets are not performing well against the spread. So the Hornets might actually be a late play. So stay tuned on the Action or the Twitter account for those calls. Next, we got the Magic versus the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, there's a couple guys who might not be playing in this game. I'm pretty sure Zion is questionable, and they've listed Brandon Ingram as doubtful. I don't know what's going to happen before that game, if they're going to change any of that. But with the line the way it is, I can pretty much guarantee that somebody's not playing in this game. And at -4, that's a huge discount, especially when you have the Orlando Magic coming off of a win. They're coming off of a win versus the Clippers as huge underdogs, and you're kind of getting a Pelicans team that has some players that I would say that are on the Orlando Magic's level who are going to be started. One thing you don't want is for your starters to be going up against this Magic team, because the starters are going to be overlooking the Magic, but you got guys on the bench coming up and who are playing for contracts, playing for positioning, trying to play their heart out and get some minutes. So the edge that the Orlando Magic that they've had for the last couple games that they've been covering, it's not going to be there if you have guys like Zion and Brandon Ingram in there. And I'm not sure if Lonzo Ball is going to be playing in this one. But at -4, I think the value, if that's the line, I believe that's the line, it's -4. Let me check that out really quick for you guys. I believe it is -4. Hopefully my Action app loads in enough time. Let's see. Last time I checked it out, when I checked the website that I use, which is I use teamrankings.com a lot, and I use sports betting stats a lot. But sometimes the line it's the opening line, and they don't showcase what the line actually is right now. So I'm on Action right now, and that usually has a realistic line on there. And I use William Hill to bet as well as Stations Casinos. I'm in Las Vegas, so we can't use third-party apps. I have to use something located in Vegas. Let's see. My tablet runs slow. I need a new one. So we have... Oh, man. Let's see. We got the NBA games coming up. We have... Oh, man, I need a new tablet. Okay, so here we go. I'm sorry about that, you guys. So we have, Pelicans are at 4.5. That is a huge discount here in terms of what they would be, which is, I think it opened up at -10. So that is a huge discount, and I'm pretty sure that's because Ingram and Zion Williamson are not playing. So at 4.5, it's worth a shot. But in terms of what they're beating teams by, which is not that many points, but at the same time, can you trust the Orlando Magic to come in here and fight? That's the only reason why it's a lean and not a play, because I don't know if I can trust the Pelicans all game. So no play there, just a lean. Next, we got the Clippers versus the Nuggets. Clippers they've been hot as of late, but they are coming off of a loss against the Orlando Magic. Anybody who loses to the Orlando Magic has to come in on fire the next game. They got to be mad pissed. They dropped a very winnable game that they were up in the first half pretty nicely. Then Orlando just fought back in the second half, and I actually had Orlando in that game, so I wasn't surprised that happened. But here you have a team that took the Los Angeles Clippers out of the playoffs last year, and they're getting points, which probably means that somebody's not playing in here. Maybe Paul George isn't back. Maybe Kawhi Leonard's going to sit and Paul George is back. I don't know. But at +2, I'm pretty sure somebody isn't playing. So I'm willing to lean that way, taking the Clippers at the +2. And even if they list Paul George and Kawhi Leonard in, you're going to get the best line here at +2 and not have to. It's probably going to flip-flop and make them favorites if both of those guys are a go. So if you want to take it, I would say take it right now at Clippers and the +2. But here we got the plays, the actual plays that I'm putting money on thus far. I like the Warriors plus 1.5. You know, the Miami Heat are coming off of a win, pretty much a revenge game win against the Indiana Pacers. And prior to that, they beat the New York Knicks. Now they're returning home. They're going to have Victor Oladipo. I don't know in what capacity he's going to be playing, but whether he's starting or he's getting hefty minutes off of the bench, they have to fit him into the offense. And you have the Warriors. They didn't really make any kind of real adjustments at the trade deadline. They pretty much have the same guys that they normally have, and Steph just came back. So that little slump they were on is not really indicative of who they are as a team. So I like the Warriors here to come in and cover this first half. You're getting Miami Heat isn't really beating teams by a lot of points per game. So when you're getting them as favorites coming off of a win, I expect, just like I expected with Indiana, and something I didn't want to take, but Indiana did cover the first half, and I expect that same effect to take place today against the Warriors, where the Warriors can come in and hit them in the mouth. They've had 2 days off, and I think Miami's playing like 6 games in 9 days, or 5 and 8, or something like that. So I think the Warriors can come in here hungry to get back into the playoff race with the Pelicans are in that log jam. Memphis Grizzlies, Spurs are falling. So there's a lot of opportunity for the Warriors to come out here and put up a fight against this Miami team that might be tired and might be still celebrating the win, and also has to fit a new piece into their offense. So I like the Warriors here in the +1.5. My next game is going to be the Hawks. Right now it's at a PK. That's what I have them at. Pick 'em. So I like the Hawks to come in here and put up a fight. Yes, they are cold, but this is a revenge game. And I cannot trust the San Antonio Spurs getting points, or giving away points, I'm sorry, after a win. They just dismantled the Sacramento Kings in a revenge spot. Here they're going to be facing a completely different team who they beat earlier in the season, who's covered the last 3 of the last 4 games against them. So I think this game provides a perfect opportunity for the Atlanta Hawks to come in and get a win under their belt before they return home. So those are my 2 plays here: the Warriors first half +1.5, and the Hawks PK full game. That's pretty much all I got. Hopefully we can get another profitable day. I might add a couple more plays at the very last minute. Not in the last minute, but probably within the last 30 minutes before game time. So just stay tuned to the Action app. I will have a link to that below. Make sure you subscribe to that so you can get the plays as I post them. All right, so that's pretty much all I got. I hope you have another profitable day. Good luck, you guys.